There are many people who make different predictions, right? Some of them are people like myself who I'm just an investor. So I'm just guessing. I'm guessing based on all the information that I see. It's an informed guess, but a guess nonetheless. But what you're starting to see is a lot of people thinking the same kinds of numbers by 2030, four figures, that are in some ways unrelated, in some ways different parts of the financial system, talking about what these valuations can look like. And there are some people like these guys here who are developers, they're insiders, and they see what's going on in the background, and they're estimating about $1,000 per XRP by 2030. Now, I've always said that it's going to hit, in my estimation, somewhere between $300 and $1,300. It's a pretty wide gap there, but I think it's reasonable. Even at $300, most of us will be doing pretty well. However, these guys are seeing what's really going on behind the scenes, nuts and bolts. I mean, you even have the CTO of Ripple, David Schwartz, explaining how and why XRP can't be cheap. And when he means by it can't be cheap, I mean, he means it cannot be cheap now. And so you're also seeing these four-figure estimations of XRP's value by Bitcoin maxis, people who don't traditionally care much for this blockchain and its or the project as a whole. You also see this coming in from a lot of chart analysts from a wide spectrum of markets, not just the cryptocurrency market. You see these kinds of speculations being made on the business news channels now. You see this happening from XRP's competitors. Banks and financial institutions, much like SBI over in Japan, are making the same kinds of guesses, I guess, if you will, right? Or predictions, if you will. But it matters who is saying this, right? It matters whose opinion is this. Well, it's a wide spectrum of people, and they're insiders for the most part. They're telling us what is happening. You know, guys like Mr. Wonderful, you know Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank? He's telling us that the real use case with blockchain is payments. Well, nobody's focused more on payments than Ripple and XRP, and they're very good at it. And they're not talking small payments. They're focused on the big money, the biggest there is. So let's take a look here at what these guys are saying. This is a post by DAI. He says, reminder, XRP was created to strengthen the US dollar and replace the petrodollar system. For years, we ignored the crypto police and all the negativity and told you anyway. It's not easy being early and having conviction. Good thing we didn't care what they said. We're really bullish on Ripple and XRP in particular. This is a quote. I think XRP is heading to $1,000 by 2030. Now, this is, I think, Dom and Phil Kwok. I think that's what the other guy's name is. They're brothers. They're Ivy Leaguers, mind you, and they're developers. They are developing solutions on the XRP ledger. They're very active, and they're one of the most popular, but they're all over the place. You see these guys everywhere, and they're not shy about telling people about this. Now, what DAI means by us being early is that, yeah, I mean, if you understand how the financial system works, and then you see what Ripple's team is made up of, who they are, where they've worked, what their specialties are, and then you see the solution they're presenting the financial industry, and they're wanting to work with banks the whole way through. They're asking for rules and regulations. They're asking to be regulated. From day one, these people are building themselves to be an integral part of the future financial system. They've been working at this for years, long before I got in. I got in almost 7 years ago. But these are parts of the things that I read. I looked at how this blockchain works, how it reaches consensus, you know, what its speed is, what its use case is, its security level, its decentralization. It's the most decentralized, well, I won't say the most decentralized, but it's decentralized. Bitcoin is not. 3-4 miners run the whole thing. Same thing with Ethereum. It's a very small group that run the whole thing. And you can go on and on and on with Sol and Sui and all these other ones. It's all the same thing. And so they're very centralized. And the same group of people that kept, you know, pitching you Ethereum, Solana, Prometheum, Ethereum, I already said that, and Sui. It's all the same group. They were also pitching you FTX. It's the same venture capitalists group. So for the time being, Ethereum and Bitcoin have an unfair advantage, a corrupt one, if you will, because those blockchains, well, they're not secure, they don't scale very well, they're very expensive, very slow. They just don't function that way. They don't function very well for the future financial system. Now, Ethereum does have one thing that's good. It's got those smart contracts. But in January, smart contracts go live on the XRP ledger. I think at that point it's game over for Ethereum. I really think it's game over for them now as it is. But it's nice to see these predictions from people who know what's going on in the background. It just gives you just a little more information to chew on and to feel just a little more confident about your investment decision. We're investing, right? We're still rolling the dice, but rules and regulations are on the way. And people on the inside are starting to be more and more vocal about it. There's a USA Today article that I'm going to share with you on the next video that came out a day or two ago. And man, they're saying that the smartest investment in cryptocurrency is, of course, XRP. So let's check out the video and let's hear it in their own words. They're pretty optimistic about what's coming for a very good reason. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and bookmark. We'll see you guys on the next one. Till next time, adios amigos.
So for us, we're really bullish on Ripple, on XRP in particular, because of the inroads they've already made into the TradFi sector. They've been, really sort of diligent about getting tons of different licenses all across the world to actually make sure that they are positioned to own the space when the institutions actually come into blockchain, into crypto, which they're already starting to do with stablecoins. That's obviously a huge use case, and Ripple has their own RLUSD stablecoin, which is awesome, and we've already started educating our community on them. And ultimately for us, we're just super bullish on the mission, what they're doing already in terms of bringing all these big institutions. Hidden Road acquisition, for example, is a great example of how they're going to actually be utilizing the XRP ledger in the real world, settling trades, etc., much faster, cheaper than otherwise would be possible. And then obviously also international money payments. All of those different aspects really make it one of the formative companies of the next decade, in our opinion. And I know a lot of people have been asking for my price targets on XRP. And I think this is the first time I'll say it, but I think XRP is heading to $1,000 by 2030. So for me, it's a super important project, and actually probably one of the most important projects out there at the moment.